Vanessa MacLaren-Wray writes speculative fiction about humans and other people, making connections in a complex universe. She writes the Patchwork Universe series, including That Was Asked, Shadows of Insurrection, and Flames of Attrition. She often guest hosts for the podcast Smell Publishing in a Big Universe. Vanessa, over to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm just so excited to be here to read from Flames of Attrition. Although it's set in another world with swordsmen and shamans and so on, it's very much an homage to all the veterans in my family who never felt comfortable telling their own war stories. So I kind of made up one for them. So, okay, here's the setup. Corin has just been appointed king, which here translates to commander-in-chief. His small country is on the verge of war, and the enemy has been sending in assassins to take him out. It's the middle of the night, and his bodyguards have just woken him with the news they've captured, instead of killing, the latest assassin. The guys had commandeered a small room near the kitchen with one door and no windows, they said. I took the guys a few paces down the corridor for a pre-interview conference. Listen, I ordered. No sirs, no titles. I'm one of you guys coming to relieve Durst. Got it? Sir, you're not saying to leave you alone. I want information, and she won't know what I look like. And who's in charge here? Me or you? You guys will be right outside. If I need help, I'll shout out. Before they could assemble any more arguments, I pulled that door open and marched in. I gave Durst the sign we'd used back in Underguards for when we were going to play certain stunts on our captain. It worked. Instead of shouting out, "Sir," or worse, he yawned. I yawned back. "My turn, buddy." He edged out, eyes full of questions. I took his place in the lone chair. Our prisoner owned a patch of floor in one corner. She didn't have the Army of Light uniform. That would have made her conspicuous and Giscarian, but she had the attitude. Her eyes blazed at me. I rocked in the chair and shifted my gaze from her glare to the door and back again. "Give it a minute," I said, as if answering a question from her. She couldn't have been older than my son Calestines. She didn't have her hair braided up, lakeside style, but you could tell it had been that way recently from the curly waves in it. After my minute was up, I went to the door and eased it open a little. Durst stood guard to the right. Another guard had posted himself to the left. Neither could be seen by our prisoner. I left the door open a crack. "Good," I announced. "They've gone off to bow and scrape over his royal high and mightiness." Instead of resuming the chair, I slid down next to her and drew my long knife. That got her attention. My cue to begin. "Who do I blame for this cock-up?" I growled, keeping my voice low and secretive. "You're supposed to be here tomorrow night. It's my off night today. I'm here now because they're a man down, thanks to you." She made a confused noise. Might have been words, but that didn't matter. "You didn't think they'd send you without an inside help, did you?" The man's guarded like he's some kind of valuable merchandise. "But never mind. We need to get you safely out so you can report back. They need to send someone else, though. You're a known face now. If I come back a failure, they'll think I'm a spy." I looked her in the eyes. That always makes people think you're being truthful. "It's not your fault you got bad orders." She had wide, deep, friendly eyes. Could have been any kid you might meet in the market. Then again, she'd come here to murder me. I had to remind myself of that. The Army of Light had turned this kid. I couldn't let myself start thinking of her the way I thought about my boys. I flipped my knife end over end, enjoying the flash and flicker as it spun in the air. The moment I caught it, I turned it on her. That is, on the bindings on her arms and legs. She jumped to her feet nearly as fast as I did. Before she could make a dash for the door, I took hold of her arm. "Wait, I know a back way out. No one will see you go. Do you know the town well enough?" She nodded, but I could feel uncertainty in the tension of her arm muscles. I raised my voice enough to be sure my guys could hear me. Listen, you'll come out of the fortress south of a workshop with a bear's paw for a sign. He does leather work. Good stuff if you can afford it. She tugged her arm free and rubbed where my hands had left a red mark. Sorry. Once you're safe down, spot that sign, then hang a right and work your way downhill. Once you reach the market, you can find your own way, am I right? Her nod had a sureness to it now. Hang on, let me check again. This time, only Durst stood at guard. He tipped his head towards the hallway, where his partner had sped to arrive first at the landmark I'd named. With a quick salute in honor of my scheme, he ducked around the corner out of sight. I gestured to my new comrade in arms. Come on. She edged close, her fingers twitching at the empty scabbard at her hip. What about you? I'll be fine. Don't you worry about me. A shadow of fresh suspicion crossed her face. I deployed my secret weapon. Honor, truth. That secret phrase transformed her tension to relief. She even smiled. I should have felt something, sending this kid back to be treated the way Calestinies had said they treated their soldiers. But I gave her an honorable mission in service to Jessica. It should have been enough. Confidence restored, she followed me out the door and around to the empty kitchen. We soon reached the hatch in the far corner, the one that opened to the drain, where pots could be dumped and hot water sent down to flush the grease and tallow. For a moment, I was a boy again, leading my brother on our daring escape to bring Timon out of this house and to his new family. Look here, I told her. It's not clean, but it takes you clear out of here and fast. Don't imagine you can clamber back up this way. There's a couple of stretches. It goes nearly vertical. You'll kill yourself if you try that. But no buts. Listen, there's not much time. You need to get back, tell them tonight's a bust, and get someone else assigned for tomorrow. I'll be on door duty as planned. Got it? Yes, got it. She looked like she might be about to cry. Thank you. It's what we do for each other. I gave her a hand as she clambered up into that passageway. Sitting there, that scrawny kid seemed to fill the channel. We were such a pair of skinny nothings back then, too, me and Timon. You want me to slide down? Yeah, it's exciting in a way, but keep quiet. Don't scream, even for fun. I won't. Hurry, get your report in. I gave her a push, a little one, to get her started. Her braid-curled hair flew out behind her as she dropped into the race. Thanks for listening. Oh, and if you sign up for my newsletter, in the form, you get a copy of The True Son, a prequel story that tells about Corin and his brother from way back when they were kids.